Welcome back. Does the London Palladium seem like a second home to you?
Yes, it does, but it's still it's nerve-wracking to know that you're going to open there because it's so special. It's like the joke about Carnegie Hall. How do you get their practice? You know. So I'm fairly nervous, fellas.
Here now?
No, not now. I'm having a wonderful time watching the show.
That's the nice part about it. You can watch it. Yeah, it's doing it. This way.
You were terrific on Miami Vice.
Thank you.
You really were.
You've seen it?
Oh yes.
Ah.
Yes,
And I've got it taped. If you want to look at it.
Can I say, Liza, you're celebrating a significant birthday on stage within the next few days, aren't you?
Nerves, yes.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't know. It's all changed so much. I'm going to be 40.
Usually gets a round of applause for some reason.
Yes, no. And it seems to me like 5 years ago it was deadly to be 40. But now it's kind of fashionable. I mean, like all the sex symbols seem to be 40, except you guys. I mean, you're in your own class there. But I mean, the ladies. I mean, thank God for Joan Collins and all that.
There was a quote I read that you say your voice has come of age.
Well, I really shouldn't have said that. I was just excited about opening, I think. I should leave that for other people to say. But it just seems stronger. I think it was because I was always a dancer first. That was my first love. And I liked acting, and I couldn't sing very well. I just couldn't do it. You know, I wasn't born with the voice. I had to really work at it. And then when I got into it and started to really think about music and how much I liked it, it just kind of, it went along, it got better.
Has your voice ever protested at the beating it takes? You really work your voice?
Yes. I think it happened to me when I was on Broadway, because it's 8 shows a week. And especially, it happened in The Rink, which was a show I did with Cheetah Rivera. And your voice just, it says, that's it, forget it. That's it, I've had it. You know, and you go to sing something, there's nothing there, because you are abusing it. Well, think of opera singers. They only sing, they never sing 2 nights in a row.
That's right. They do a dress rehearsal the day before, never on the day of a show. They have the rest of the day off. Yeah.
But the kind of touring that we've
the 8 shows
done,
a week.
Yeah.
So how do you look after your voice?
I don't do really anything. I can't sit here and say great things. I just, you know, cross my fingers and walk on stage, basically. But you do, you know, you look after, you warm up properly.
I don't believe girls' voices do break, do they? So has your voice never let you down since then, Phil?
No, Michael.
Oh.
It's actually let me down a few times. I mean, I don't warm up at all. I mean, I just have a couple of glasses of scotch and go on stage. And I go on stage and go, ah! and wonder why it goes. You know, I mean, I do 9 shows on the run and then have a night off, and then 8 on the run and have a night off, and occasionally have a couple of nights off, you know, farther on down the tour. But it does take its toll. I mean, the doctors in America tend to give you cortisone injections.
No, I'm scared of that.
Yeah, I know, but if you've got 16,000 people there and they've all in the auditorium, they're all sitting there waiting. I mean, I've only had to cancel a couple of shows.
They give me cortisone for a bad leg. What is this cortisone?
That's what you get it for. Commentators, Liza, are unanimous about your voice, but their descriptions differ about your appearance. Which description do you favour?
What was the one I liked best? Somebody said she's very talented, but she reminds me of a canary on speed. That was wonderful. No, you know, I don't really think about it that much. It's not. I don't think it's the way you look so much as what's going on inside you. I have to think that way, Michael. I have all these rationalizations. No, I'm quite pleased with the way I look. With all the plastic surgery, I think it would have changed it. You know, you can do anything now. Well. I saw Phyllis Diller, who's an American comedian. Do you know who she is? And I swear to God, I thought it was Cheryl Ladd. The woman. That's a different nose. I mean, mind you, when she smiles, she has to cross her legs, but it's really miraculous what they can do.
That mole on the cheek is her navel, I know.
It's when they blow their nose from back here.
Well, that sorted Phyllis out. Now, you...
No, she does. She looks swell.
Good. Now, you... You appeared as an infant, as we all know. What's your earliest memory of wanting to be a performer?
My earliest memory was when I was 15. Because I wanted to be an ice skater up until the time I was 15. And I really studied it and worked at it. I wanted to be in the Olympics, you know. And then I saw a show called Bye Bye Birdie. And I thought, well, that looks like more fun than what I was thinking about. And I wanted to be a gypsy. I wanted to be a Broadway dancer. That was my first thing. You know?
Were you unimpressed by what your parents did as a child?
Yes, I don't know if you've ever been on a movie set, but it's real boring. It's hurry up and wait.
And were your friends in the business, your childhood friends?
Oh, yeah, everybody else's parents were famous. You know, we're all alike. Mia Farrow and Candice Bergen.
And did you do school plays together? That sort of thing?
I can't remember. The only school play I really, besides the Diary of Anne Frank, when I was older, being in was I played Mary, as in Joseph and Mary. And I dropped the kid.
It's like a little boy I was told. He played the innkeeper and they said, any room at the inn? He said, yeah, plenty, come in. Changed history. You're such a mixture, I mean, Irish, Italian and French as well as in there as well. Do you carry with you the mixture of all those temperaments as well?
You mean the temper?
Temper, yeah?
Yes, I have a strange temper. It's a Spitfire temper. No,
That way, he's good at danger.
actually, I'm too much of a chicken to get mad at people. So what I do is I transfer it to things. I mean, this could drive me crazy. I don't go where I want it to go. You know, and meanwhile, I'm mad at a person, but I'm taking it out on that.
Yes.
It goes away very quickly.
Telephones, do they drive you mad?
Yes, and coat hangers get me crazy because things fall off.
Yeah. What drives you mad, fellas?
Cushions sewn to the chair.
Yes.
It's awful to try and get serious now after all that. Your childhood, which I'm keeping on about, your mother, we know, was a woman who was highly strung. There must have been many traumatic moments for you as a kid.
There were, but there were also so many good times. It's not all one colors, you know, nothing is. But I think that people know more about the kind of glum stuff because that's what writers write about. They think it's dramatic and so forth. But my mother had a wonderful sense of humor, and so does my father. And I wouldn't have changed any of my childhood. I think the difference, I've met so many people who've had so much more of a horrendous childhood than I have, but their parents weren't in the public eye. So it's just that ours was made very public. I think that's the difference, you know what I mean?
The pressures of fame, of course, came close to overwhelming you too, didn't they?
I don't know whether it was that or what it was, but all I know is that 2 years ago, I was so tired and so sick, and I didn't know why. And I thought I had leukemia, I thought I had hypoglycemia, I got all these tests. I was sleeping all day and then trying to go to work at night, and then I'd be exhausted, I'd come home and sleep. And I found out that it was something called chemical dependency, which is a disease. And the greatest thing about it is you can fix it. You're not going to die. You'll be all right. This is something that if you take charge of and you take back responsibility for your life, you can fix it.
So you're over that. Are you on any kind of artificial props now?
Oh, God, no. No.
Well, I got some.
No, thanks. I've been there. No.
Do you manage to get through on your own resources, fellas? What do you rely on then?
No, I think it's boredom is the main thing with drinking or doing anything, to
I
be
agree.
honest. It's just there's so much, like Liza was saying, there's so much hanging around. Even in what I do, I mean, there's 2 hours of really constant energy once you get on stage, but the whole day leads up to that moment, you know.
And after, it's so hard to come down.
Yeah.
You have to go out to dinner, you have to go out and drink, and it's still about 3 in the morning before you can really wind down enough to be able to get a good night's sleep. I find.
But that's just adrenaline and natural things going on within you.
Energy after a performance.
Yeah.
What about the dangers of live performance? We've heard the saga of Wayne's trousers coming asunder. I don't know if you've had anything similar. If you have, how do you recover from it on a live performance?
Well, I was racking my brain at home trying to think of something clever and witty. And I couldn't think of anything that happened to me, but I saw something hilarious happen. Can I tell you about that?
Yeah. Is it Phyllis Diller?
No. No, it's not. Well, it's not one of them. I went to the dress rehearsal and the opening night of Peter Pan in New York when they revived it on Broadway. And at the dress rehearsal, I saw Sandy Dennis, who's wonderful, you know, going back and forth. Sandy Duncan, excuse me, I didn't mean Dennis. And she was going back and forth on this wire. And I was talking to the choreographer who was sitting beside me. I was saying, it's going to be fine, it's fine. And I said, that's amazing how she just swings back and forth. Is there somebody at that side catching her and then, you know, spotting her? And he said, no. I said, what's at the sides? He said, walls. And, you know, she's got one eye. So this lady's gone flock. Back across. But she had this great smile on her face, and I thought, she's... Now, and everything went wrong that could possibly go wrong. The scenery didn't come in on time. But there's a saying that a bad, you know, rehearsal means a terrific opening night. So I'm sure, you know, at the last minute on Broadway, everything pulls together. It's just fine. Fine. So there I got dressed up, and I came back, and I was sitting beside the choreographer again, who is a wonderful man called Ron Field, and the director. And and we were sitting there, and you know the point when Peter Pan takes the fairy dust and he sprinkles it on Wendy and then Peter and the dog and whatever. And so Sandy went, and now, would you like to fly? Think of wonderful things. And obviously, she was talking to the little boy. And he said, candy, this, that, and she said, no, something better. And he said, Christmas, smiles, da-da-da. And she went, yes, and the kid over here went up. But he went like this. Now, so she went, yes. Now he's hanging there, this kid. And so she quickly threw the dust on the other little boy, and the girl went up. And finally, the other kid went up. But what happened, because they'd been taken by surprise and they have these ribs on, these children are hanging.